New parents in Canada can take almost a year of paid leave after the birth of a child. That's among the longest periods of time afforded to parents anywhere in the world. More often than not, though, that time isn't getting split equally. Outside Quebec, less than 1 in 10 fathers take advantage of the program. So, a group of dads has formed a group called Canadians for Paternity Leave. I recently spoke with Alvin Tedjo, the executive director of the group. So, Alvin, tell us what is wrong with the way the system works right now.
So, I think I'd like to start by saying that the system is actually pretty robust. We get 52 weeks of parental leave combined between pregnancy leave just for mom and 35 weeks shared between either parent. What we're looking at right now is targeting some time specifically for that second parent, specifically for fathers, because right now only 9% of Canadian fathers, take or intend to take any sort of parental leave time at all. And that's too bad because that benefit is there and people aren't using it.
So 1 in 10, basically.
So 1 in 10. And what's interesting is that there's actually, we talk about the Europeans and what benefits they have and how robust it is, but we have an example right here in Canada. So in Quebec, 10 years ago, they pulled out of the federal EI system and created their own system. And they carved out 5 weeks just for dads, just for new fathers.
But just 5 weeks.
Just 5 weeks, but that's a start. And just that 5 weeks, that didn't take away from the 35 weeks that was shared between both parents or the 17 weeks that was just for the birth mother. And what happened is that 87% of fathers in Quebec take paternity leave, which is almost 10 times more than the rest of the country.
And what's the benefit of that, to your mind?
So there's huge benefits, actually. So Equal Voice comes out and says that one of the benefits is around equity for women. Women feel more comfortable in going to the workplace sooner. Fathers share more in household chores. They raise the children more. They read to them more. They play with them more. University of Oslo, Norway says that their kids get better grades. So there's lots of benefits there, and it connects families more together. And the divorce rate goes down when fathers take paternity leave. And so there are lots of benefits that we're really excited about.
Now, what did it cost Quebec to do that? Do you know? What were the dollars spent
to
give that sort of support?
That's a great question. And it's really interesting because the EI system is undersubscribed. And the federal government, for the last 3-4 years, has taken billions of dollars of surplus from the EI program to pay for other programs and pay down the deficit. So there's money there that should be used for employment insurance and employment insurance reasons like benefits into parental leave and paternity leave that they're not using right now. They're using it for other programs. And they're projecting to save $1.1 billion from that program this year alone that they're using for other things. And we're saying, let's use it for what it was designed for.
Why has this become such a personal cause for you, Alvin?
So I have 3 kids. They're 2, 4, and 6. And I think there was a bit of a struggle when we were deciding how much time to take. When I speak to other new fathers in the group that we sort of put together to advocate for this, we talked about how we didn't want to take the time away from new moms for ourselves, right? And there's still a stigma against fathers taking time off in the workplace. So we're looking for examples where we can promote paternity leave as a positive alternative and to make families stronger. The former UK Prime Minister, David Cameron, famously took 2 weeks off when he was Prime Minister to be with his new daughter. And so that's a great example, and we need to encourage more people to do that. And we think if there's a use it or lose it type of policy from the federal government about an additional 5 or 6 weeks just for dads, then more people will take it. And the example there is in Quebec.
So now, obviously, you're here on television, talking to me, talking to our audience, trying to promote this idea. What are you doing to actually try and make it a reality?
So a group of dads, we've come from across the country. We've come together. We're petitioning the federal government. We've created a website that's got research and information from around the world about the benefits of paternity leave, how to implement it. And so we've launched that website. It's called paternityleave.ca. And we're talking about how it's time that Canadians really started talking about this. And the federal government has showed, the former Labour Minister was quoted as saying that they are interested in looking into this. But what we need is we need a push. We need a groundswell push from fathers, from mothers, from parents who say that this is time that they need and time that they would use and the appropriate use of our EI benefits.
What do you say though, to people who are saying, well, listen, okay, there's a surplus in the EI program, but we have so many expenses as a nation, even, if you think of all the different priorities that are out there for different groups, that they might just look and say, well, why do we need a separate 5 weeks or whatever it might be when there is already this program in place that mothers and fathers can share?
Because the data shows that it's not enough, right? And it shows that not enough parents are taking that leave, not enough fathers are taking that leave, and we know that the benefits are there. And we want to encourage more businesses to support it. We want to change the culture so that people are more in favor of taking the time and are more comfortable in taking the time.
Would this be gender specific in any way? Pat leave meaning a man? I'm thinking about same-sex couples or...
For sure. So actually right now, because pregnancy leave is just for new mothers, because of their physical issues that they have after childbirth and for surrogates, that time is there for them specifically. We're talking about time for fathers, but it's also for the second parent, right? So if there's a same-sex couple and there's another parent that wants to take more time, they should be able to take that time. Same thing with adoptive parents. They should be able to take that additional time too, because it's important that both parents are involved in raising their children.
How hopeful are you that this is going to happen?
I'm pretty hopeful. I think this is it's a positive thing that people, when they hear about it, think it's a good idea, right? And so we need more people to talk about it and say, this is a good idea. I'd like my government to do this.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Diane.